loosely shapes how I lead my life, but it's really up to me, and it's not dictated by my philosophy and political outlook. So I try to engage myself as much as possible in projects that I find fulfilling and worthwhile and progressive, and that challenge society and the state and build autonomous communities. And I guess that sort of comes out of anarchism, but it's not necessarily because of anarchism.
Anarchism really affects the way I do activism. It has really strongly changed the way I do activism. I think we need to be really smart and strategic, and I definitely don't put my time and effort into policy and reform anymore. Although I'm glad there are some people who do those things, because I know that they directly affect the lives of people in our neighborhood. But I certainly don't put my hope there. Not a lot of hope for change, certainly. And I don't even put a lot of work anymore into activist actions or rallies or things like that. I think that they're heartening, but again, I don't put my hope for change there.
It affects my life in part what I do with my work time, and also with what I do with my leisure time. Part of it is I guess trying hard not to be a man, that kind of whole thing. But also, I don't know, wanting to see a society that lacks hierarchy means that you have to organize things in your life around that way. And so whether that's your workplace or the relationships you have with people, I guess it's just trying to identify where power is and figuring out a way to scatter it, especially if it's centralized, so that everybody's got a piece of it.
It influences the type of jobs that I'm willing to work, which I've found has tended to be in worker co-ops or non-hierarchical workplaces. I pretty much can't tolerate having a boss anymore.
I guess engage in activism and also do things in my personal life that I think challenge the legitimacy of the state, and also other power inequities, I guess, and hierarchies in my personal life and in institutions that I deal with.
Like creating societies that foster healthy people, and because we're conditioned to be socialized a certain way and to work together a certain way.
The way I get myself around the city on bikes, the way I consume food, the way kind of anything I do, I try to think of how I could do that in a way that's not going to have either me be in a subservient position or me imposing my will on other people.
Sort of challenge myself to strive for equal power dynamics between people and the world and everything in the world, like animals and the environment.
I think that deep down we're all anarchists, and that the earth is an anarchist, and that people are born anarchists, but they have that beaten out of them by capitalist society and propaganda that encourages them to find a job and subscribe to ideas like government and capitalism, and to fit in with that whole worldview.
I feel it's important to recognize that we're all equals on Earth rather than any other kind of label. We should sort of think about that we're all equal with all species too. And if we can do that, we can just sort of call ourselves Earthlings and not Americans or whites or any other kind of term, then we wouldn't be oppressing any other one, I don't think.